The more you do this work, neutrality is a huge thing. That's why I have a separate website just for that. It's a lot of the UN method, but people don't go deep enough into neutrality, even with UN method, and they top out. Every next moment is an experience. Well, how many experiences can you have? Well, my shoulder hurts. Well, that's the same experience you had for the last 300,000 seconds. So neutrality changes the energy to make all these different future experiences the same. And then the grab bag is there. You got 1 billion experiences in there, and they're all the same energy. What's going to manifest? I don't know. But if one of those things bothers you and there's only one thing in the grab bag, because you have a weakness, a huge weakness, what are you going to grab out of there? When you do deletion, what are you doing? You're making something strong. You're taking the weight that's holding something down so it can float, so it's equally strong with the other thing that was your story that was already equally strong. So you're making more things equally strong, maybe trillions of things equally strong that were weak before. What does that do? That makes the energy even, puts more things in the grab bag. And then what could change in the next moment? Well, when you reach in and there's 1 billion things, you're probably not going to get the same experience. Probably. Not guaranteed, but you're probably not. If you clear the right things and widen the possibilities by the energy that you even out, how wide a number of experiences of things, or the number of things you've deleted so that the number of experiences in that grab bag are as wide as possible. And let's say 99% of them are your shoulder doesn't hurt anymore. One of them is my shoulder's been hurting for 50 years. Well, which one are you going to grab? Well, the likelihood of you grabbing that same one, almost zero. That's how things can change in a moment, by evening out the energy of more things that can happen. Filling that grab bag. UN method and deletion and strengthening, all these things, you're filling that grab bag. You don't know what's going to happen. You honestly don't know that shoulder pain is going to go away. You find the spiritual weakness of the karma and you strengthen it. You don't know the shoulder pain is going to go away. You just knew you followed the weakness. You're not looking at the symptom. You're not looking at an outcome. You have no anticipation, expectation. I have an article on my website about that. You're just finding a weakness to strengthen, and what happens, happens. You're filling the grab bag. The person still could pull out that my shoulder hurts because it's still in the grab bag. It's less likely, but it could happen, and you got to be neutral with that too, as a quote-unquote healer, because you don't want to push that energy out. You have to be open that it could stay the same. You got to be neutral to things staying the same too. You got to be okay with things staying the same in order for them to change. And it's another evenness of energy. What's same, not same? It's two extremes that have to be even in order for either one to happen. That's neutrality. It's all about evening things out. And the more things you even out, the grab bag gets bigger and bigger, and your neutrality and the size of your grab bag actually influences other people because you're not projecting out weaknesses. What are you projecting out? Trillion energy experiences in every direction that's so even. You certainly could get dragged down by someone else's weakness. You certainly can get dragged up by someone else's neutrality and your own. That's why we do these things. That's why we delete things. That's why we strengthen. Strengthen just means you're making something equally strong, the other thing is equally strong, and then you see what happens. It may shift to your foot. It could give you a headache all of a sudden, and you just follow the next thing. And you can compare. Is this the same thing or different? Oh, this is a different thing. But when you profile it, immediately you say, oh, it's a different problem. So you strengthen, the shoulder pain went away, and this headache might be more severe than the shoulder pain, but it's another thing. I guess this is the next thing that came up. It's just another thing. There's no difference. A knee pain should all be the same energy to you. It's just a weakness to strengthen. You're not even trying to get rid of anything. It's all the same. And what's the same? It's evenness. You got to treat it all the same. As soon as you think there's something serious or different, it's going to affect the situation. Your neutrality's off at that point. When you work on your family, it has to be the same. These are the kind of things that shift people hugely, and they don't even know it. And I wrote an article, it's all about the energy. It's only about the energy. It's not about the energy, and if I put the logic in once in a while. No, it's only about the energy. A lot of times people will test other people, and And I see this all the time where these people have fairs and they're checking people for, you need to supplement and this and that. You can tell right away that they're getting an opposite answer because people's neutrality and their polarity shifts sometimes if they don't like to be questioned. And you can check the energy of that. So a lot of people, if you grab their arm and try to do something, you get an answer, oh, that's strong. Well, no, it's opposite of that because they don't like being questioned, so they're giving you the opposite answer. You could check their energy if they have a questioning weakness or something, or you can just check their polarity. If it's reversed, they're going to give you the opposite answer with their arm. So you're going to go in the wrong direction. So that's why I don't believe in teaching any of these techniques. It just so happens that this is the best way to look at energy and how quickly, the way we test for energy. You don't need to meditate for 50 years to do what we do. This is just my philosophy, and I think it's very close to what Ewan's philosophy is. I think we have a lot in common that way. And I wasn't always like this either. I had to struggle through the mindset and all that, but it's really just about the energy. And he's said that from day one, and he must feel like he's said it 50,000 times. And I feel like I do the same thing too. And I know why now, because people need to hear it. Because it's that simple, and they don't want it to be that simple. You don't always have to ferret out a primary weakness. You can just go neutral. That's another way of evening things out. Sometimes at the bottom of neutrality, you've got to hook in the Ewan method and delete some big thing. But a lot of times neutrality be enough to shift you. And again, you're always stretching the string of the experiences. You're not going to stretch it to infinity overnight, but every time you do something, you're stretching it 10,000 experiences, 100,000 experiences, 100,000 things. Evenness is from one extreme to another, not just the extremes, but all the experiences that you're evening out. Neutrality is a big thing. When you're doing Ewan method with people and you're deleting, you're probably going to hit a neutrality at some point where you have to go to the extremes of, if you succeed, it's fine. If you don't, it's fine. If you fail, it's fine. If you don't, it's fine. That's like a shortcut way of doing the neutrality extreme. You don't get too detailed, but the idea is that someone's got a thing with neutrality that's blocking them, and they've got 3 experiences in the bag, and you're just making it 1,000. You're just doing it real quick, and they're going to improve, and it's going to be enough. If you do enough of these things, even to 1,000 or 10,000 experiences when they only had 2 before, you want to widen it just enough, and you don't want to spend a lot of effort if you don't have the time, but it will make a big difference. Someone will shift, and they can experience something different. So that's what it's all about.